I think, going back to what you're saying too, Tim, I think there's something when it goes outside of our relational agreement and understanding, there is betrayal, whether there's sex, any kind of sexual contact or not, it can absolutely be betrayal regardless. And I
Yeah.
want to give a shout out. Someone at the AppSats conference was talking about this. Jill Poole was talking about this at the AppSats conference. And I think there's something really powerful. I think sometimes in our work, we assume, oh, there's an emotional connection. And then oftentimes it goes to something sexual, but the betrayal can happen before it ever goes sexual. And I think that's still incredibly powerful, maybe even more so for some, not more so, I don't want to say more or less, but I've seen the damage of the emotional connection being really powerful, really profound for the betrayed partner, even
Mm.
if there's no contact.
I was thinking of for the betrayed, the intense increase in fear when there's a history of multiple affairs, because you just never know and calibrate. Is this a person they're going to have an affair with? Is this okay? Is that okay? Where's the line of okay? It's just super scary to look out at the landscape and not know where the landmines are. Or there's a landmine, there's a landmine, there's a landmine. And so this goes back to what we always talk about, like lots of conversation, lots of exploring, lots of figuring out where the lines and the boundaries are for your coupleship. But it's such a scary place as a betrayed.
Well, any last thoughts on emotional affairs?
What do people do? I guess that's the okay. How do we know if we're in this situation? And then now what do we do about it?
Yeah. So
Talk,
you mean,
I think what you said, Dan, talk to your others, talk to your trusted people, and talk to your relationship partner.
so Dan, are you saying, how do I know if I'm in an emotional affair? Or, oh, well, my gosh, I have identified that I am in an emotional affair. What do I do?
Yes, or maybe I felt something's off, or I have suspicions, or my gut says something. Yeah, I think all that.
Yeah. My thought is if the partner is sensing something that they speak it, and they might even say, look, I don't know what your feelings are for this other person. I just know that I'm really uncomfortable with the amount of texting that you guys are doing. It just doesn't feel, good to me. I feel, is it okay, right, to say I feel threatened by this? And if the other person says, oh, there's nothing to worry about, we're just friends, is it all right to keep going and saying, yeah, okay, fine, you might just be friends. Can you please do something so that the texting is minimalized? As I'm talking, right? If it's really an emotional affair, that may not make any difference at all. They might stop texting as much, but might be meeting in person more or phone
Mm.
calls or something else. But I think at least the partner advocating for themselves and saying, this is not comfortable for me.